Okay, welcome to the Level 6 division video. In Level 6, we will encounter some division problems that have two-digit divisors. As always, you can download the attached PDF to follow along. So when we have a two-digit divisor, sometimes we'll encounter the situation where we need to make adjustments to our original quotient guess. So let's go ahead and see how that might be done. So I want to take a look at a first example of 1,425 divided by 19. So I'll enter 1,425 on my Soroban, and I'll go ahead and place the divisor 19 here, and then I'll put my quotient in between. Okay, so the first thing I need to notice is that my first divisor digit is a 1 and my first dividend digit is a 1. And instead of dividing 1 by 1, I'm going to compare the second divisor digit 9 to the second dividend digit 4. And when the divisor is larger than the dividend digit, turns out 9 is a good first guess. So I'll go ahead and place 9 on the Soroban as my first guess, and then I'm going to take 1 times 9 and subtract, which is 9, and subtract it from 14. So that leaves me with 525 on the Soroban. Okay, then the next thing I need to do is multiply the second divisor digit 9 times my quotient digit 9. So 9 times 9 is 81, but that's larger than 52. So I'm not going to be able to subtract 81 from 52. So that tells me that my original quotient guess of 9 is too large. So what I'm going to do is take 1 away from my quotient, and I'm going to add back 1 times 1, which is 1, to the Soroban. So now I'll have 62. Okay, so I'm going to repeat my process and look at 9 times 8. Well, 9 times 8 is 72, but that's still larger than the 62 that I have on the Soroban. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat the process by taking 1 away, and I'll add back my divisor 1 times 1, which is 1. Now I'll have 72 on the Soroban. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to compare 9 times 7, which is 63, with the 72 that I have on the Soroban, and sure enough, I can go ahead and subtract the 63, and that'll leave me with 95 as a remainder on the dividend. Okay, so now I'm going to look at my first divisor digit again, which is 1, and compare it to the 9 on the Soroban. And instead of going ahead and dividing 1 into 9, because I know I would need to place a quotient of 9 to do that. So if I put a 9 in as my second quotient digit and I subtract this 9, that would leave me with 5 on the Soroban. And then I'd have the second divisor digit 9 times 9, which is 81, which would be much larger here. So when we run into this condition of a divisor digit of 1 and a large dividend digit, turns out 5 is a good guess for the quotient. So I'm going to go ahead and follow that rule, and then I'm going to take 1 times 5 and subtract 5 from the 9 on the Soroban, leaving 45 on the dividend. Now I'll take the second divisor digit 9 and multiply 9 times 5, which is 45, and that clears my dividend so that I have a final answer of 75. So there you saw a pretty interesting problem where we had to go through some quotient adjustments in order to solve the problem. Okay, let's go ahead and look at a second example. In this example, we have 3,471, and we're dividing it by 89. Okay. So let's take a look at this and see that our first divisor, digit 8, is larger than 3. So we're going to divide 8 into the first two digits, 34. So since 8 times 4 is 32, I'll place 4 as my first quotient digit, and then I'll subtract 32 from the 34 in the dividend. Okay, so then the next thing I'm going to do is multiply the 9 times the 4, which is 36, and I can see that that is too large for the 27. So again, my first quotient digit is too large, so I'm going to take one away, and then I'm going to multiply 8 times the one I took away, which is 8. So I need to add back 8 here on the Sotobon, and so I do that like this. So now I'll have 107 on the Sotobon. Okay, so now I can compare 9 times 3, which is 27, to 107, and certainly I can subtract 27 from 107, so I'll go ahead and subtract the 27. So now I'm left with 801 on the dividend. So next we're going to divide the 8 into 80. Okay, so I'll take a guess of 9. Since 8 times 9 is 72, I'll subtract the 72, and that leaves me with 81 on the Sotobon. And then finally, I will multiply the second divisor digit times the quotient of 9. So 9 times 9 is 81. That clears my dividend, and I have a final answer of 39. So there you had some really interesting two-digit examples on the Sotobon, and I hope that was clear. If not, please feel free to go back and start and stop the video as you need, and good luck with your training.